Selling used books on Amazon is by far the best category to get started with in 2025. And in this video, I'm going to go over 5 reasons why that's true. And if you stay until the end, I'm going to share with you guys a secret. There's a lot of people getting their Amazon account shut down in 2024 and 2025. And I'm going to share with you a secret that's allowing my students in most of the community to keep their accounts active and healthy, which is essential. If you're going to be in this business, you have to have an active Amazon account. So I'll be sharing that at the end. So reason number 1 why books are the best is 10% of Amazon sales are book sales. So there's an insane amount of demand, and there's also an insane amount of supply in every city. There's millions of used books at thrift stores, at libraries. So if you live in a medium to large size city, I'm not going to lie to you. Like if you live in the middle of nowhere and you're not willing to drive, this probably isn't the business model for you. But if you live in a medium to large size city, there's no excuse on why you can't make thousands of dollars profit by finding one of the biggest categories, not the fastest moving, but one of the biggest sales categories on Amazon, and that's used books. That's reason number 1. There's just so much demand on Amazon, and in every city, there's so much supply. So all you have to do is go find the damn books. Reason number 2 is low barrier to entry. When you sell other products or other business model, whether that's online arbitrage, wholesale, any other type of reselling that sells products outside the book category, you have to get ungated in brands. And in 2025, Amazon has made that extremely difficult. Sometimes you have to show an invoice with 100 units for the brand, which is ridiculous. Like if you're a brand new seller and you want to mess around with selling some toy or something, Amazon's requiring that you show an invoice or a receipt with 100 units purchased, which is just crazy. So with used books, yeah, you're going to run into the same thing starting out where you're restricted in many titles, but I'll actually link a video below on how to get ungated super fast in tons of different publishers. But the thing about used books, and really this kind of goes for all categories at scale, but especially with used books, is as you get sales in the book category, Amazon's going to allow you to sell all publishers for the most part. There's textbooks and other things you're never going to be able to sell. But for the most part, you'll be able to, within the first few months, after your first few thousand in sales, Amazon will open up the floodgates, say, hey, we trust you. And this is a good bridge to doing those other business models. Like if you do want to eventually do wholesale, like me, I've done 500,000, probably 450,000 the last 30 days in my Amazon wholesale business. And I guarantee you, most of you could not sell the brands that I sell because you're a brand new Amazon seller. So if you establish that history selling used books, number 1, you're going to be on Amazon's good side because now they trust you. You've sold books. Only a few got returned. Amazon customers are happy. So then now they deem you as a reliable seller. And number 2, they're going to eventually let you sell these other brands. So it's kind of like a gateway. The third reason why selling used books on Amazon is one of the best categories to get started is because they're easy to prep to Amazon. They're small. You don't have to pay a lot of storage fees. You can pack them in a box, and they're extremely valuable too. Like if we're talking $20 average sales price and you pack, let's just say 20 books in a box, that's $400 every box out the door. So they're extremely easy to pack. They're not going to take up a lot of space in your house, and you don't even need to use the space in your house because remember, we're making FBA shipments. We're taking advantage of Amazon's fulfillment centers. All that means is we're putting the books into boxes. We're using GoToLister. I'll link a tutorial on how to make FBA shipments below, but we're using software to pack these books in boxes, ship them out to Amazon. So Amazon stores, preps, and packs the book directly to the customer so we never have to touch it and we don't have to fill up our whole house with books. Reason number 4, and this is the reason why I love teaching how to sell used books on Amazon, is if you put the work in, you will get results. There's a lot of business models where if you put the work in, you're not going to see immediate results. With books, if you put the work in, you're going to see immediate results pretty quickly just because of how simple of a business model it is. And what I mean by that is if you're in any medium to large size city and you map out every library and every thrift store, let's just say there's 50 locations. If you truly put your mind to this, drive to all 50 locations, scan every single book in all locations, you're going to make several $1,000s profit over the course of a few months. So you can't really, I've taught other business models. I used to have a high ticket coaching program for wholesale. I would give people suppliers, I would hold their hand through the whole process and they would just be scared to pull the trigger. Maybe I'm not the best teacher when it comes to these other models, But I have so many students who have had success selling used books on Amazon, and it's extremely rewarding to say, hey, do this, this, and this, and then see somebody go out and make 10 grand, whereas these other business models, people will do hours and hours of work and get no results, and then they'll quit. With the used book business, it's very rare that somebody truly puts 20 hours of work in and doesn't come out profitable. And, I sound like a broken record here, but sometimes people will be doing wholesale and they'll be months in and they're negative. Their bank account's literally down from what it was before. So that's why I'm super passionate about used books, is because you will turn a profit and get results if you put the work in quickly. The fifth reason why selling used books on Amazon is the best category to get started is because it's extremely predictable. If you build a book business where you're able to go out and find 100 books every week, chances are next week you're gonna be able to find 100 too. And the week after that, and the week after that. So once you determine what the good sources are, which ones are replenishable, which most sources are, like thrift stores, libraries, always have new books on the shelf. Once you find your honey holes, once you find the system for getting profitable books, all you have to do is go out and get the damn books. And so it's rinse and repeat, and it's very predictable, and it's consistent. You're not making the most money in the world at a small scale. But then again, like in the book space, people always say, books is like the way to get started, which I'm kind of advocating in this video, but some of the richest people I know are booksellers, like the ones making millions a year. So this is a very scalable business too, if you decide to get really, really deep into it. But yeah, I just think it's one of the best categories to get started because there's so much opportunity. And I think if you're able to mix hard work and being humble enough to go into thrift stores and libraries and just scan 10,000 books every weekend, you're going to have a very profitable business. And I think it's extremely underrated to pay less than $4 for this shit, and then you sell it on Amazon for $20 plus. Like, you cannot beat those margins. You just can't. And so most people don't, and most people try to do something else. And I think if you do have that combination of you're willing to work hard, you're willing to put the headphones on and go in the thrift store, listen to Joe Rogan or whatever your favorite podcast is for 4 fucking hours and just scan, and then come home, pack the 200 books, get them out the door, Amazon FBA, do that every single week, send 800 books to Amazon each month, send 1,600 books to Amazon each month for 3 months in a row, and your bank account continues to go up versus, even my wholesale business right now. I started a new Amazon account this year. We're negative 150,000 cash flow on it. We're making money. The P&L says we're making profit, but we're just dishing so much money into this. And this goes back to why I'm so passionate about books. Like, you can only remain cash flow negative in the book business probably for 2 months, unless you're doing something terribly wrong. But if you go out and buy 1,000 books, send them to Amazon, and then the next month you go out to buy another 1,000 in books, very low chance you're going to be negative cash flow after 2 months. Just doesn't happen that often. So I said I was going to share with you guys a way to not get your Amazon account suspended, and it's very, very simple. Amazon does something called Section 3 audits. And when they do Section 3 audits, they're looking for a few things. They want to verify your identity, and they want to verify your sources. They want to know that you're legit, and they want to know that where you're buying your products, they want to know your products are legit, and therefore where you buy your products are selling legit products. And when it comes to used books, and take this, with a grain of salt, and also realize that this has worked for a lot of people in the community. So I'm speaking from experience as a teacher. What is working for used booksellers when they get Section 3 audits is complete congruency with everything. So when they ask you who you are and where you got your inventory, what's working is obviously say who you are. You have no problem doing that. Hop on the video call, have your ID ready, have all your documents ready that they request. And number 2, receipts from Goodwill are working for Section 3 audits. So if you have a receipt from Goodwill and they're asking you about these 3 books that you sent in, if you show that receipt and you show, this is key, you show a matching bank statement. So you have those 2 key things to the formula. You have a receipt and a matching bank statement. Then Amazon is saying, hey, this person's good. They're just a thrifter. And this might not work if you upload like a local library receipt or whatever. So I'm sharing this with you so you can use this information wisely. And I'm telling you that if you get a Section 3 and you use a Goodwill receipt with a matching bank statement for the purchase, let's just say you spent $50 at Goodwill for X books, and they have 3 books they're questioning you about. If you say, hey, these 3 books came from this purchase here, you can see it's on my bank statement or credit card statement, and it's also on the receipt here. You don't need it to be itemized. The Goodwill receipt can just say books. Those are working to pass Section 3 audits. So that's it, guys. If you guys like this content, go ahead and subscribe. Also, I'll link a video to my 5-day book selling workshop, which teaches you step-by-step how to build a book business. That'll also be linked below. Much love. Peace out. Real quick, if you guys want to support the channel and make FBA shipments faster, which is essential if you're selling on Amazon, consider using GoToLister, the fastest listing software on the planet. We help you create shipments to Amazon FBA without ever visiting Seller Central. We help you get shipments out the door seamlessly. And here's a preview of the inside. You can list used items, new items. I use this for my wholesale business. And we have booksellers use us. We have OA people, retail arbitrage people. And one of my favorite parts is we have a profit and loss. It's down exactly what your sales are each day, but more importantly, what your profit is. So you can see we did a 18,000 sales day here with 5,100 true profit. And we also have inventory. Inventory reports show you how much available sales value you have at Amazon, what your turn rate is, what percent of inventory you selling on a daily basis, and what your available profit is if everything sells after Amazon fees and your buy cost. You can also quickly see on a per ASIN basis what your sales velocity is, so you can restock your fastest moving items. We have hidden mode if you're an influencer and you don't want to show your items to the world, or even if you're at a party or something and you want to show another Amazon seller your sales, you don't have to show them products. And this is all available via mobile too. And we have mobile listing coming out very soon. So you can operate your Amazon business from your phone. Go to GoToLister.com, get a free trial if you guys want to check it out. Much love. Thanks for supporting the channel.